his rusty hair so tousled he looked like an angry rooster. "What the hell you doing with the gun, Garrett?" "I told you. I thought I heard something." "So you're gonna shoot it?" This as he climbed out of bed in a pair of baggy pajama bottoms with rearing mustangs all over them. Garrett shook his head, not ready to discuss the odd feeling that had awakened him. "I'm going to check on the others. I'm coming with you," Elliot said with a pointed look at Garrett's gun. "Just in case you've been so responsible and level-headed for so long that it's finally driven you over the edge." Garrett sent him a glare, but Elliot only returned a wink and a crooked grin as he grabbed his hat off the dresser and plunked it on top of his unruly red hair. They slipped into the hall, and Garrett moved past the next two doors. Adam and Ben had gone their own way last year. Adam had hightailed it to New York City, ostensibly because of a job offer in some bigwig corporation. But everyone knew he'd really moved away because Kirsten Armstrong had left him at the altar to marry an older, richer man, and Adam couldn't stand being in the same town with her anymore. Ben, of course, was trying to find some peace. The hills of Tennessee, where he was living like a hermit, wouldn't heal him, though. Only time could do that, Garrett thought. Ben's young wife had died just about a year ago, and even though they'd both known she was terminal before they'd married, the blow of finally losing her had almost done Ben in. Garrett and Elliot reached the next room. Wes's. If there were trouble, Wes was likely to be involved. Oh, he'd calmed down a lot since prison, but he still wasn't over the anger of being sent there unjustly. It was a rage Garrett supposed would eat at a man for a long time. And with Wes's temper, well, an explosion always seen within shouting distance. He tapped on the door. Didn't walk in the way he'd done with Elliot. Wes was still pretty riled up over returning home to find his half-brother wearing a badge. And he'd developed a real touchy attitude about privacy, too, while he'd been away. No sense pushing his buttons by walking in unannounced, gun in hand. The door opened, and Wes stood there looking more like a Comanche warrior than a Brand at that moment, despite the jeans and pale denim shirt. His dark hair hung to his shoulders, longer than a man of 30 ought to be wearing it, Garrett thought, and his eyes gleamed like onyx. His Comanche mother had named him Raven Eyes, and Garrett had always thought it incredibly appropriate. "What is it?" Garrett shrugged. "I'm not sure. Did you hear anything unusual just now?" "No, but I was—" A high, soft sound interrupted Wes, and he went rigid. It seemed to come from farther down the hall, and all three heads turned in that direction. Jesse's room. A second later, the three of them stampeded for their 22-year-old baby sister's door. Garrett saw Wes pull that damn Bowie knife of his from his boot with a move so quick and smooth and practiced, it seemed to have just materialized in his hand. They stopped outside Jesse's door, and the sound came again. Not a normal cry, but obviously one of distress. Garrett's blood ran cold when he tried the knob and found the door locked. He didn't even think about it first. He just stepped back and kicked it open. 3 Brand men exploded into Jesse's bedroom at once, one holding a Colt, one wielding a Bowie, and the other poised with fists raised in a boxer stance, though the effect was probably ruined by the horsey pajamas. Jessie screeched as she whirled to face them. Then she just rolled her eyes and shook her head. "You idiots! You almost scared me right out of my slippers." "Sorry, Jess," Garrett told her, feeling more foolish by the minute. "I thought I heard—" "Me too," Jessie said. "But it's coming from outside." She jerked her head in the direction of her open bedroom window. Garrett lowered his revolver, sighing in relief. "You okay, Jessie?" She only smiled and shook her short-cropped head in vexation. "How could I not be with you 3 on duty?" Giving her bathrobe sash a tug for good measure, she shouldered past them, apparently on her way downstairs to investigate the noise. It was Wes who gripped her shoulder and gently stepped in front of her without a word. She made a